There are 9 psychological locks that you must unlock in the first 10 minutes. Everybody see this line? Do you remember when we talked about the 10-40, 10-30 structure of webinars? First 10 minutes is pre-framed, then you got 40 minutes of actual content, which is your origin story, method, you backing that up with proof. Then you've got 10 minutes of the offer stack and the offer presentation, and then 30 minutes of reframing and different closing techniques after that. That is the 10-40, 10-30. You can see it here on the line. But what I want to focus on now is the first 10 minutes of the pre-frame stage, because if you don't unlock these 9 things in the first 10 minutes, then the following 40 minutes of content is not going to land. It's going to feel like you're convincing and it's not going to feel natural. Okay, you have to go through all of these pre-frame locks. The first one is the attention frame. Okay, you have to unlock attention, but you have to command attention. Sometimes I say things like, listen guys, over the next few minutes, I'm going to go through a lot of stuff and I want you to pay close attention to it. Not because I'm going to go through it fast, but because there might be one thing that I say that changes everything for you. Oftentimes I do these calls or these trainings and people will tell me afterwards, Jeremy, that one thing that you gave me was worth the entire call. That one thing, I went and implemented it and I got XYZ result. There might be one thing that I don't want you to miss that will change the way that you look at writing webinars forever. Okay, that's the attention frame. There are different ways to do it, and I can show you guys multiple examples of that in a minute. The second is the authority frame. Okay, the authority frame is all about positioning your authority. Who is this person? Why should I listen to this person? Okay, you see a lot of times in webinars where like they say, who am I and why you should listen to me? Accomplishment, accomplishment, accomplishment. But it's not enough just to throw out your accolades and throw out your awards and accomplishments. You have to build trust in who you are as well. That comes through relatability, and we also talk about that. But in the pre-framing stage, you need that authority frame. You need the attention frame. The third is the decision frame. Okay, you have to separate the room. Separate the room between those that are looky-loos and just there, they're freebie seekers, they're just there to spectate, and those that are actual decision makers. So I always say there's 2 types of people, right? There's the type of person that'll get on the call, go through the entire thing, forget everything in 3 days, never take action on it. And then there's the other type of person that is paying attention to every word and thinking about ways to apply it as they go through the call, right? So by setting a decision frame, you're separating those who are serious from those who are not, and they have to make a decision on who they want to be. Do they want to be the action taker or do they want to be the spectator? The next is the identity frame. You are elevating their identity by saying, hey, those type of people that do take action, they are X type of people, and X type of people do blank, 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 and they get blank, 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 which is the desired results of what they want. The opposite end of that, the people who don't do the right thing, who don't do X, do not get blank, 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 and blank, blank, blank. So you're going to make a decision on this call of what you want to do. Do you want to do the right thing or do you want to do the wrong thing? Here's what the right thing means. It's reward and consequence. Here's what the wrong thing means, right? And then you elevate their identity by celebrating other people like them who did the right thing. Then you have the problem frame. Listen, guys, the problem oftentimes is not what they think the problem is. And I call it out directly. I say, now, most of you think the problem is blank. Blank, 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 but it's not. The real problem is blank. And that's a technique called the umbrella problem that we'll talk about later in the call, where I'm going to be teaching you how to create a new problem and position it as the only problem. Very similar to what we talk about with labeling, like ADHD. There are multiple symptoms of ADHD, but they call it ADHD so that they can offer you a solution or a cure to the one thing, not all of the symptoms. So all of the problems that they think are problems become symptoms, and then the main problem that you create in the problem frame becomes the main problem that your offer helps to solve. So problem framing is important in the first 10 minutes. Then you have the expectation frame. If you don't set the expectation, they will create their own expectation, and oftentimes it will work against you. How do we set the expectation? We talk about who this is for, who this is not for, what the training is not going to be, what it is going to be. Okay, you're setting that expectation in the first 10 minutes as a part of the pre-frame. So you have attention frame, authority frame, decision frame, identity frame, problem frame, expectation frame. The next one is a value frame. Here you want to inflate the value of what they're about to receive. This is super important. If you do not inflate the value or sell them on the value of what they're about to receive, then they will think, is it going to be useful to me? Am I going to get anything of actual value? Or is this going to be fluff? Is it going to be BS? Is this real information? Is it based on theory or is it based on fact? Does this person have the experience? Right? So we're going to be presetting the value so that they are now curious to receive what is coming in the next couple of minutes. Okay. Then you have the future win frame. This ties right into the value frame, or right after the value frame, rather. This is going to be valuable to you. Here's why. Right? You're projecting the win. You're saying by the end of this training, you're going to be able to blank, blank, blank. Right? You might find yourself in a position to do this and that and have this and have that, all the things that they say they want to have, the desires, right? So essentially, you've heard people talk about this as future pacing, but this is a future win frame where in the first couple of minutes, you're going to be talking about by the end of the training, what they'll be able to do. And the last one is the commitment frame. You always want to get micro commitments in the first couple of minutes. Most of the time, a lot of people tell people to write in the comments, right? That is getting micro commitments. You want to get those micro commitments in the first few minutes. Now, I'm not saying that if you don't have these 9 things, you can't sell, because you can absolutely sell with the right origin story, the right method, the right offer, and objection handling and reframing techniques. But make it easy on yourself and do this the right way. Webinars are strategic. They are psychological. They are scientific. Everything that we do is completely dialed in. If you want a webinar that makes you $30,000 or $50,000, don't do this. If you want a webinar that generates 100K, 200K, 300K every time you present it, you want to make sure that you are unlocking these 9 psychological locks in the first 10 minutes of your presentation. Again, in the first 10 minutes, attention frame, authority frame, decision frame, identity frame, problem frame, expectation frame, value, future, and commitment. You have to do these things. If you don't, you're not going to ever get the results that you want to get out of your webinar.